5 assists. A nice job passing the ball for them. You can see his MSL stats for 2010 and 2011 when he was with the Peterborough Lakers. Suffered a broken neck after that and really struggled to get back into the game for a bit, but has had 2 outstanding Senior B seasons. They also have a left-handed player coming into the lineup in Dylan Goddard, who missed last week because he was in Cuba on a holiday.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, and he is back, so he'll certainly help them. Of course, Angus Donnelly, the goaltender for Barrie, is one of the best around.
Especially in this league. Last year, as we keep saying, he was one of the guys that almost single-handedly turned this thing around. The guy that's trying to do it this year, the Defensive Player of the Week in the Canadian Lacrosse League, and why not, beats out Kevin Croswell for the job here this afternoon. When you do that, you know you've done something special. Cole Murray back between the pipes, and like we said, why not?
Yeah, Croswell was sick last week. Murray stepped in, was, as you said, the Defensive Player of the Week, gave up just 4 goals on 49 shots. He was outstanding. You see the early standings. Durham, of course, with that 10-4 win last week over the defending champion Niagara Lock Monsters. As you mentioned, Barrie had the slow start. It cost them against the Southwest Cyclops, and Durham is going to look to keep pushing things, keep pressing their advantage, keep running the ball. That was effective for Southwest against Barrie last week.
And Oswego yet to play. We said last week off camera that they could be the team to beat here every year pretty much in the Canadian Lacrosse League. Yet to play. We'll see them tomorrow when we travel to Niagara, and that'll be the Lock Monsters banner raising ceremony. So motivation for either squad. Take your pick tomorrow.
Well, exactly. It was an overtime win for the Lock Monsters over the Oswego Demons last year in the championship game. That Kevin Sullivan goal, he had 1 in the regular season, matched it with the game-winning, championship-winning goal. The teams are coming onto the floor. We can't wait for tomorrow to see that Niagara and Oswego game. Right now, though, Durham Turfdogs and the Barrie Blizzard, and what should be a great game this afternoon. We'll take a quick break, and anything you want to add before we go? No, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
Hearts we see thee rise, the true north. more strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Two head coaches in their first full seasons with their club. There's Rob Blaisdell, one of the assistant general managers. On his right is the head coach Brad MacArthur of the Barrie Blizzard. 4-3 last season after he took over the club, and that includes a loss in the playoffs. So great job for him. And then Matt Giles coming out of the Peterborough Lakers Junior A system, his first season as the Durham Turfdogs head coach. Like we said, a 1-0 record now after that 10-4 victory last week, and he got the game ball.
Yeah, a couple of guys well respected in the game. MacArthur's been around a long time, played in the National Lacrosse League, coached in the National Lacrosse League, is doing a tremendous job with the Blizzard team. Giles, of course, played in the NLL for about 11 different teams, and I'm not even exaggerating. It actually was about 11 bouncing around. Was with the Peterborough Lakers, won several Man Cups with them, and started coaching. He's also going to be coaching the Canadian entrant into the World Lacrosse Festival, the Under-19 tournament to be held in conjunction with this year's World Lacrosse Championships. So that's a great job for him. He and Matt Atwood from the Niagara Lock Monsters will be coaching that team.
And of course, that team coming out of the Junior CLax Prospects division, and 3 officials on the floor. We had 2 last week. Crew chief Mike Sullivan on the line, restraining line to our right. Brent McCauley on the other restraining line, and starting the face-off, Kyle Kropman. Gord Brown will be in the box working the 30-second clock. Gillen and Josh Wasson tangle at the face-off dot. We had a collision at the restraining line on our left. It was Crawford and Scott Gamble, as Gamble's going to win that battle, picking up the loose ball. Matthew Carrick, Stephen Stamp. Canadian Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network here in week number 2 as the Turf Dogs. Our player to watch, Jesse Guerin. A lot of room for Kyle Clancy. He gets triple teamed as he lets go of that. It goes wide, picked up by Dylan Goddard, his first game of the year. Skips a shot wide, did hit off Angus Dineley, they're going to say, and that resets the shot clock. Clancy will give the Turf Dogs another chance. Sidearm pass, looking for man in front. Koger had him all tied up. And now Dineley's going to gobble that up in the first offensive shot for the Barrie Blizzard here.
And while the Blizzard are on defense, they're going to miss Colin Boucher, who was signed and activated by the Vancouver Stealth. He is in Vancouver tonight to play the Buffalo Bandits, so great for him. Bit of a void for the Blizzard last minute this week.
The team he was on their practice roster with last year, the Blizzard, the Bandits, and Spencer Janes puts the Blizzard on the board, going 5-0 on Cole Murray.
Spencer Janes, known mostly for his defensive work, but he can play in the offensive end. He stepped in on the power play at
17-9-7.
on his offside. You hear the call. Spencer Janes coming from Cam Monroe and Brad Levick, and Janes is just stepping back away. He's got Jesse Guerin on him, and just kind of steps away and fires one that Cole Murray would probably like to have back. He didn't have many of those last week.
Didn't have many, period.
Yeah.
Here's Aaron Brown. Connor Latimer goes in on him. Josh Gillum again. And it's going to be Latimer that picks it up off the carpet.
They really liked Latimer. He was the 3rd overall pick in the draft this year. They're hoping he brings a big boost to their offense. They've lost so much from last year with Jonas Dirks and Caleb Wiles gone, and Travis Gibbons. There's a big save by Murray, and Latimer gets the rebound and starts things up again.
That was Mike Maudsley with the shot. They've got him for 5 points in last week's game. He's got the ball again. Looking for Watt. They got to keep it from over and back. A nice job there by Latimer, who was going back, looked like for a change almost. And Watt back in the middle, takes a shot wide. Maudsley again on the crease. Feeds back for nobody, and this time I don't think anyone's going to get there before that goes over and back. But the Turf Dog closest, so it won't slow things up. And Aaron Brown, the veteran, I think you'd be wise to chase that one down.
Couple of off passes by the Blizzard as guys throwing it behind where the cutter is.
There's Farthing cutting through the middle. He loses the bucket. And a couple chops between him and Zach Tompkinson. Are they both going here?
Yeah, it looks like they're... Oh, maybe it's just Farthing.
Oh. Could easily have taken both of them off.
Well, as Tompkinson started with the slash, you'll see as he cuts to the net here, Farthing's bucket gets taken off, as you said. As he heads back up the floor, he takes a chop from Tompkinson, spins around and hits him back. Tompkinson returns the favor, but only Farthing goes, so trailing 1-0.
It'll be interesting to see what the call is here, because he did that without a helmet. He's got to make the move to get off the floor.
He was. I mean, he was heading off the floor, so, but it was a slash.
All of those pushes came without the bucket, so
Yeah.
we'll wait and see what the official call is.
They signaled slashing.
Okay. I mean, you easily could, but
Yeah.
that's another one of those rules that keep in mind when the helmet comes off. Shane Scott to the far side now. Again, Shane Scott, one of those guys brought in to help bolster the offense. Both red-shoed players, Scott and Maudsley. This is a spot that Scott likes to shoot from, and he lets one fly off the left arm of Cole Murray.
That is a nice save by Murray, being aware of Scott coming off the screen and going for that far side.
Oh, skipping off the bottom. We talked about Mike Teeter off the opening, and that's what he brings from the outside, just a little skipper.
Teeter, number 6 for Barrie, doesn't even have his nameplate on the back of the jersey yet. Barrie's that one from outside. He was an all-rookie team member in 23, his first year in CLax. He's going to just pick up this ball and let it rip. They said unassisted. There clearly should be an assist as he receives the ball right at the top there from Shane Scott. So we'll see if they add the assist to Shane Scott later.
And another face-off win. Second one coming off the goal. The opening face-off went to Durham, but Barrie's got the next couple here as John Ray over to the far side, getting in front of that. Jeff Griffiths plays it off the wall for Ray again. Doing a nice job of keeping these two outside. They've wasted 2/3 of the shot clock now. As it comes back, the shot off the pipe, that coming from Darryl Robertson. Now he's got to chase it down. They wave off the over and back. There's two officials now standing at the line. And unless they say that came off the shot, but no Turf Dog touched it. It came off the pipe. This is going to be a breakaway for Durham, though, as the pass eludes everyone. Dylan Goddard looks around and snipes it top corner.
And that's what Dylan Goddard brings to the Durham Turf Dogs. Just 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes into his first game of the season. And Dylan Goddard has what is, in fact, an unassisted goal, as you hear announced by the officials at the box. Goddard just scoops up this ball that bounced free, and he is all alone. He will not miss very many. Not a lot of fakes, just picks the perfect spot. He is a tremendous shooter, tremendous asset to this offense.
And every team that scored has won the ensuing face-off. So it's a game of momentum, and you can see it shifting here, straight through the middle. The shot comes from Brandon Armstrong, and it bounces in behind. Donnelly off the glass. Guerin picks up, goes to the far side. Turf Dogs trying to tie things up here with 10:45 to go in the opening quarter. Guerin pushed outside the restraining line there. Watt coming all the way out to meet him. Again, respecting the outside shot of Guerin. Down on the carpet, the shot comes from Hogarth. But the whistle had gone, and we've got more shoving here from Pete Rennie and looks like Gillen. Mike Gillen he's tied up with.
And it's going to be Durham ball in the corner. I'm sure they rather would have had play just continue because they would have had a goal there, but they're going to set up on the offense and try and tie things up.
It's Clancy creating a mess in front of the net. Ball's up top though. Comes for Goddard. Back for Clancy, who's made his way into the corner. Goes back for the middle, tried to find the cutter, and it bounced off a defender's stick. While it's up in the air, Tompkinson drives his man into the boards. And Donnelly there to help out. They're trying to release Mike Maudsley in the pass, just a little too hot. So it bounds away Cole Murray in his crease, and looked like Mike Teeter running through the stick. Maudsley and his man exchange a few chops. This game's getting a little chippy.
And on the other side of the crease, Scott Gamble had just a bit of a touch for Mike Teeter to let him know to keep away from the goalie.
Here comes Shane Scott stealing away. He's got a breakaway. Dylan Goddard giving chase. Oh, what a move by Shane Scott.
That is a beauty. Goddard scoring at the other end in transition now. He's trying to chase down Scott, cannot catch him as Shane Scott showed some wheels to pull away. Another unassisted goal as Shane Scott will come in, and you will see him make a nice play to get body position there, scoop up the ball with one hand while he's warding off Goddard with the other, and some hard fakes, then crosses over to bury that one. And Cole Murray gave up 4 goals in 60 minutes last week. He's given up 3 in 5 minutes and 12 seconds today.
And the body control of Shane Scott on the end there to jump around the crease.
Yeah.
You can dive through the crease, but it can't be in the direction of the goaltender. That's where his body was taking him. So in the air to do a bit of a twist with the legs to just squeak around the outside.
Turf Dogs setting up in the offensive zone. Mike Gillen flattening his man, knocking Armstrong down to the ground, and Barrie comes up with the ball. It bounces free. Nevin Sullivan didn't see it, so it's picked up by Crawford, who scores. Just like that, it's 4-1 for Barrie. And Crawford doing a great job to see that the two Turf Dogs players were tied up with the Blizzard player in the middle. Didn't see the ball. It popped past all of them, and away goes Jason Crawford. He's got some wheels, as he shows here. This is what they want to pick him up for, is some transition. There's where the ball bounces away from Connor Latimer, and Crawford with a nice job there finding some holes on Murray today.
And the ball goes to the bench, the first one of the career in Jason Crawford, and the last one of the day, at least for now, for Cole Murray, as Kevin Croswell takes over. And we talked about this before the game today. If you're Kevin Croswell, you saw what Murray did last week. I mean, you saw what he just did right now, not what he did last week, but you better show up and play the next opportunity you get.
Croswell's a solid goaltender, as we've talked about. A great resume playing in the National Lacrosse League. He's had some success with the Peterborough Lakers in senior lacrosse, and certainly has played well here in CLax at times. And that's the second time in 2 weeks here in Durham we've seen a player dive from behind the net trying to tuck the ball, and Croswell's not very happy because he wants them to point out to the player that you can't do that in CLax.
And there's a goalie who does his homework. He wasn't here last week, but he obviously saw it and knows. And you know, there's been a lot of tight crease play here today. We talked about already. It's been a bit chippy down there, so before anything gets too nasty, Kevin Croswell says, hey, this is my crease. Shane Scott, he's going to split the defense now, barrels into a check. And we've talked the past couple of years about Shane Scott as we see another shot looking 5-hole from Rob Koger. Another guy you don't expect the goals to come from, but he's trying to get a shot there. Brad Levick, our player to watch, steals it away, turns it into a 3-on-3, a nice fake to get the shot away off the shoulder of Croswell into the corner.
It's good for Croswell to get those first couple of shots in and make a couple early saves. You always want that coming off the bench. You don't want that shot right in the face, the sub shot from Shane Scott.
We've got 2 separate battles. Now it's 3 as Koger and his man grab each other's jerseys. Schuell giving a couple chops there to, looks like Mike Gillen. Meanwhile, play is on back the other way. Donnelly coming out to look for it and can't handle the pass. With Brandon Armstrong, it ends up rolling over to the side boards.
That was a lovely little pass by Tim Bergen out of the corner. Armstrong just missed it.
Of course, Bergen coming over from the Niagara Lock Monsters in that trade we talked about last week. And he'll be relied upon in this lineup. Koger has that bounced out of his stick. And then his stick goes high on Nevin Sullivan. Sullivan looks back to the bench to see if they're going to go extra attacker, but at this point, Croswell stays where he is.
Well, Croswell was running to the bench. There's no
hand
arms
up.
I think that may have just been a possession call. I certainly thought it was a penalty. I was ready to say Koger losing the ball and then compounding the sin by turning it over, by taking the penalty. But no, it is just a possession call. And Croswell was 2/3 of the way to the bench, ready for the extra attacker to come out.
Well, he was trying to figure it out. The bench was calling him too, but then they looked down and there was no arm up. Back the other way, Mike Teeter looking for his second of the game. He tries to go 5-hole again, and it squeaks through.
Kevin Croswell had pulled his heels together, looked like he'd stopped it, but Teeter was the first one to throw his hands up, and then referee Brent McCauley joined him.
6:23.
We're awaiting the officials' timeout, but crew chief Mike Sullivan came over and said, told the bench you can't take it after a goal, and we'll see this year. Keep your eye on the feet of Croswell. Is that the ball bouncing it? No, that's the side of his pads. And
you can see his defender trying to reach through and pull it out.
Looked like
Croswell had the legs,
to find it as well.
Yeah, had the legs jammed together, had to go around and wasn't able to get to it. So it's 5-1 for the Blizzard.
Hogarth picks it off the carpet. The whistle went a long time before that hit. And now we've got a huge scrum in the corner as Josh Gillum was down, and we've got more pushing and shoving in front of the net. Josh Wasson, he loses the stick. Daryl Robertson, the man that he's got as they throw a couple jabs. Mike Sullivan, Brent McCauley have done a good job to separate the other 6 that were in the corner. Scott Gamble was in there. We'll try and see who the rest of them were.
Yeah, as soon as somebody went after Jesse Guerin, one of the offensive stars or stars in waiting for this Durham team, you saw his teammates get in and protect him. I think it was Bergen and Gamble.
The whistle's gone for that first hit, and then we see this one.
Yeah, Bergen getting knocked down in front, and then so I think it was Scott Gamble that actually ran over, and he's having some words with Jeff Griffiths, the assistant captain of Barrie. They're still chatting.
Griffiths better watch it here too, because they've already got Spencer James at the ref circle.
Scott Gamble is always involved when the gritty play starts, and they're pointing over now. The officials pointing to the Barrie bench, calling for another player. There are 2 Turf Dogs in the box.
18 and 43 green. Roughing.
It's going to be Josh Wasson.
10 and 11 white. 2-minute tees for roughing.
And then Daryl Robertson and Johnny Ray for the Blizzard. All 4 players will be gone for 2 minutes for roughing. So we're going to have 3-on-3 lacrosse, and what could come into play for the first time this season is the penalty shot.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. We'll mention quick right now that all of this conversation coming, they did take the officials' time out. So that gives them a bit of a chance to discuss that and anything else they may want to talk about. And
yeah, a little reminder to everyone that in CLax, when there are 2 players in the box so nobody else can go in to serve a penalty, instead of having them stack up, it is a penalty shot. So anyone who takes a penalty now will see a penalty shot, and it certainly would be good news for Durham, who are down 5-1. Interesting, last week, of course, Barrie got off to the slow start, fell way behind Southwest. Durham was red hot off the start, got way ahead of Niagara and just held on. Absolutely reversed for both teams.
And we talked to some of the players downstairs too and said, especially on the Barrie side, just kind of joking around and said, you're going to need a big start. And they said, oh, don't worry, we know. And 5-1 at the officials' timeout here. Guerin coming all the way up behind the line now, and they will flip the ball off to him. Again, 3-on-3 lacrosse. You see all the blue down there, and Brad MacArthur wants them to switch here, put Koger up top, and musical chairs going on down on the floor.
Yeah, Ross Smith sliding down to Clancy, while Spencer James is down behind the net, picking up Brandon Armstrong. Clancy with a nice move to get himself free.
Guerin down to Clancy, and the slide comes over. Guerin's got room to shoot off the glass, and it ends up on the back of the net. Spencer James looking to break out. Guerin goes with him, though, and
everything slowed down because Angus Dinley couldn't fish the ball out of the back of the net.
Our player to watch, Brad Levick, will get a shot here. Far side for Teeter. The other attacker is Cam Monroe. Down on the carpet as Pete Rennie and Hogarth go after it for the Turf Dogs. Comes back for Levick, though. Levick accepts it again. 5 on the shot clock as they rip into one, and more jawing here. Again, be careful, we're in penalty shot territory, and some of the new guys may not realize that. Ball goes all the way down the floor. Mike Maudsley back to help out Dinley. And 1 minute left, and there's going to be more players leaving the box than there are leaving their benches. And one-on-one, though, drawing first blood on the 3-on-3 is Cam Monroe for Barrie. They stretch it to 6-1.
Monroe just backing
9-7, 44.
Gets the shot off, and it is successful. Levick and I'm not sure who the second. Oh, yeah, Dyneley, of course. I was looking down the roster of runners, but that is just around the screen. Not a full shot at all, just kind of a shovel shot as he just flicked the ball. Obviously saw Croswell not aware, not ready for it, and stuck him in the far side.
Mike Gillen and is that Tim Bergen down there? They're having themselves a battle. Dylan Goddard, as he steps up and still trying to grab for it, is Gillen. He almost stole that away from 3 Turf Dogs. Did Mike Gillen, and the bench loves it. Loses the face-off, but the bench appreciates the effort. That brings the penalties down to 20 seconds, 4:45 to play.
What a smart little play by Scott Gamble to roll that ball over to his teammate when he was getting covered as he was running back towards his own goal.
Goddard couldn't find Gilray in the corner, so there's a collision as I think Rob Koger ends up down on the carpet as well, and Koger a little too much. So Durham gets a fresh 30 and another chance. As all the players are standing in the box, we're about to go back to 5-on-5 and hear the clang of the door as everybody goes in. And watch out, Alex, here it comes. Right down into our booth where Alex Frazow, our director, is.
And suddenly the floor looks very crowded.
Yeah. Those would be 2 good pitchers to compare. Just, you think it's only a couple guys, but to look down on the floor, you just see all the room. Tim Bergen makes the long run as the indoor is on the far side. Not sure if something happened to him. He takes the bucket off now. That was an early change. Meanwhile, back on the floor, Mike Maudsley tiptoeing the crease, still gets the shot away wide, however. Going into play for Dale Robertson. Kicked forward, though. Now it's Campbell's turn to be the recipient of a nice pass. At half floor, a man on Joe Wasson now. A give and go as Wasson takes the shot, and a nice job. The right arm, former teammates with the Toronto Shooting Stars, Joe Wasson and Angus Dyneley. This time the goaltender gets the better of that battle. Levitt shoots it into the stick of Joe Wasson, and he's looking to the bench where reinforcements are about to arrive. Just in time, too, as he was double-teamed there on the wall. Clancy. Guerin's got all kinds of room. Feeds it to the far side. Donnelly, what a save going to his right. Into the corner. Picked up by Bergen. Bergen cuts to the net now. Comes back for Clancy. Whole bunch of movement right in front. Guerin looking to get to the center of the floor. Backing out now, passing over. The shot there. Comes from the Turf Dogs off the wall. And up for Guerin. They've got 6 in the shot clock. Clancy. Guerin again. He takes a slash from Levick and just dumps it into the corner so they can change up with the shot clock expiring.
The Blizzard really working hard on defense and making it difficult for the Turf Dogs to find their shots, but the Turf Dogs are creating some good scoring chances. Angus Dyneley's just been equal to almost everything they've thrown at him. Barrie picking the ball back up. Spencer Janes gets it off the shot that went wide. They've only got 6 seconds to shoot, so Mike Teeter's going to let one fly. No, he's going to make the pass across, and Maudsley will bounce a shot, get his own rebound and score. What a play by Mike Maudsley, and what a smart play by Mike Teeter. I thought he had to shoot. He knew he had a couple of seconds left, and Maudsley makes it count.
26-6-17.
Spencer Janes saw that, and he took off, and it looked like he got in the shooting lane, so Teeter had to hold up. We've seen some great plays by Maudsley here in the opening quarter, right on the crease, and you can see James run through the pitcher. And there's the first shot, the active stick after the reset, and then the celly afterwards into the confetti pile. Maudsley, man, as Mike Gillen's going to get a breakaway, a number of moves, and what a calm stop that is for Croswell.
And what an important one. Durham had to have that stop. Another goal, go down 8-1, all the momentum Barrie's way. Durham needs to keep creating chances, stay calm. You can see Matt Giles staying pretty calm on the bench, just wants them to start digging their way back out of this hole.
Difference between night and day over what was going on the bench last year.
Yeah.
Here's a shot diving through, and the next goal does go to Josh Gilray and the Turf Dogs, make it 7-2 now.
Gilray making his CLax debut. He was a scratch last week. Does a
21.
nice job of this one. A diving goal. And like we said, Durham just keeping the pressure on. They keep driving towards the net, and Gilray will just come up with this ball off of Donnelly. Makes a couple of nice fakes, and as he's diving across, goes back across his body to tuck it just over Donnelly's shoulder.
Another huge face-off battle, man. The dot's busy today. As Shane Scott ends up with it, cutting through the middle, taking the shot. There's Robertson off the backboards. It goes into the stick of Scott, and he just missed as he comes back the other way for Garrett.
What a job by Josh Wasson to recognize we got too many men being called on Durham. Matt Giles is unhappy. That's something he's still adjusting to, of course, is the substitution rules in this league. But that's got nothing to do with where they came from, it's when they came off the bench. Illegal substitution, the call, and Barrie will go to the power play, but Wasson taking away the chance for Shane Scott as that ball bounced out to him and Croswell was spinning around.
Now it'll be 5-on-4. They're down in the box. They're looking for the in-home player, a designated player to take all bench and goalie penalties.
And Josh Gilray has made his way across now and sits down.
As Cam Monroe's going to start, final 60 of the quarter, and they'll want to get one here to go up 8-1 before we go to the quick offensive change quarter. Teams will switch sides, a number of fakes on the far side. Levick has it again, up from Monroe. His sidearm shot into the back of Maudsley. 10 on the shot clock as Teeter chases it down in the corner. Maudsley back to his spot in the crease. Slow shot there from Teeter, and this time Croswell's just going to hang on. No movement there as change coming, 35 seconds to go before the quarter ends.
Croswell looks to the bench and they tell him to just stay there.
You do want to get one here, but you are shorthanded as well. Get some momentum on your side as Shewell comes off the wall. Back for Goddard. 10 seconds to go in the quarter, 5 on the shot clock as they can't find the cutter. Rolls away there, and Maudsley over to pick it up. The horn was the shot clock expiring, comes to Levick, just corrals it, takes the shot, and that horn will end the quarter just as Croswell able to make the save, but it's a huge one for the Barrie Blizzard. 7-2, and they will have a 58-second power play. As we head to the second quarter, we'll have that for you after this quick timeout.
Identified the gap between education and the stressors of the working world. We develop customized programs for each student at an affordable cost. Students can choose from over 30 diploma and certificate programs offered at any of Academy of Learning College's 17 Ontario-based locations. Simply a better way to learn. Learn more at academyoflearning.com. Fire Monitoring of Canada is the leader in the fire alarm monitoring industry, specializing in the early notification of fire alarm signals to the fire department. Our experienced customer service staff will work closely with you to develop the best solution for your specific monitoring needs, and our CFAA certified technicians are qualified to perform your installation quickly and efficiently. Be sure to choose Fire Monitoring of Canada because saving time saves lives. Visit us at fire-monitoring.com.
Kyle Crotman starts the face-off again. The teams have switched sides, so Angus Donnelly in the net to our left is another huge face-off. Koger and Brown get involved, but it's drug out by Schuell. He tries the corkscrew shot, bounces around in the crease for a while. Donnelly now covers it up, and Kevin Croswell remains in the net to our right.
Yeah, that was actually Thomas Hogarth picking that one up and taking it off down the floor. Eric Schuell is joining him back in the defensive zone. Actually, not right yet, but Durham definitely needs to get rolling here in the second quarter. The key will be holding the Blizzard on this penalty kill.
Couple pretty good contests, and so far that one came close to us.
That's coming way up high.
Getting worried up here. There's Maudsley over to Shane Scott. Scott fires. This one's mine. Oh,
that was two rows in front of us. We thought it might ricochet up after the initial bounce, but no luck.
If I catch one, will you sign it?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of the Barrie players actually picked it up. One of the Barrie players is not dressed today.
That would have been a pretty good pickup from the other side of the floor.
Yeah.
Maudsley gets double teamed now on the crease, still comes away with it. And a bit of a body check on the official to boot. What a pickup in front by, pardon me, Zach Tompkinson, but his momentum takes him through the crease, as that had the makings of a highlight reel goal. Hogarth with a man all over him. Pardon me, that was Bergen as he flew through. Guerin on the crease, then dropped in front. Shane Scott going for the loose ball. Shoveled back out by Robertson. And Tim Bergen there to pick up, and that'll give the Turf Dogs a chance to change. They're right close to their bench here, as we've gone back to the quick change period. Again, you got to leave the floor via the door closest to your goalie, and you take off towards the opponent's goal. So that's why in this period the attack get that short shoot. Picked up by Tompkinson. He couldn't get the pass off to Griffiths, and the Blizzard are a long way from home. There's three of them trapped out there. Griffiths is one of them, and Griffiths all the way to the bench. Probably could have gone for a change there, but it would have cost him 60 feet. As the outside shot from Goddard. Barrie needs this ball to get the change, and they're going to get it with Hogarth landing in the crease. You can reach in to grab the ball, but you can't fall flat once you get there.
That was a nice job by Shane Scott to push him in. Hopefully this music isn't as loud for you as it is for us, because we can barely hear what's going on right now, but we'll stay with you and try and keep bringing this to you.
A great atmosphere here in the building, as that's one of the improvements they're making, is the in-game atmosphere for the fans with the video boards, with the contests. And Cam Monroe, let's not forget about the play on the floor. He cuts through across, Croswell makes the save, and Gillen. The eyes always get wide when the goalie goes wandering, don't they?
They do.
Here's the shot coming through. It was wide. It's in behind, and what a play there. The active stick from Cam Monroe. That was Jeff McNulty, the original shot. And it got behind Donnelly, but Monroe just putting the paddle down. Pete Rennie now cuts his way back across the floor, gets on his correct side. Still double teamed though. He's going to beat both of them, as the last one was Zach Tompkinson. Now the double team rejoins, and that causes the turnover, as it's Teeter coming down the near side. Teeter, sidearm shot, and that goes through Croswell. I don't know where the hole was, but he found it.
Teeter with his hat-trick goal, and I'll tell you, this all started at the other end. Pete Rennie making a nice piece of work to run down the floor, but nobody went and helped him. He was double-teamed, and the closest guy between him and anyone else was a Barrie Blizzard player. So he tried to roll it out to a teammate, really didn't get a lot of help, and then this leads to a break the other way, a 3-on-4, and Teeter just pulls it up and rips it home. He's having quite a game, quite a debut this season.
Zach Tompkinson and Jason Crawford, that chased their man all the way down. We've got a scrum in front of the Barrie bench here, and it's going to cause an over and back by Mike Gillen, and The bench is saying there's no possession off the faceoff, and I think they're going to lose that argument. The ball goes back the other way. Donnelly picks it up, a huge hit after the play in behind the boards, and they're going to let Gillen get the helmet off. There's players injured in behind. Gillen is making the Turf Dog pay. We don't know.
It's Kyle Clancy who's throwing bombs with him.
And they're both going to go down, and now the trainer will get out to check on the Turf Dog.
Yeah, Clancy was ready to go. As you said, he waited for Gillen to pull his bucket off. It is a Barrie player down in behind the net. It looks, well, we'll wait and see if we get a shot, but Clancy was definitely ready to go, and then definitely took the worst of the altercation with Gillen.
And again, the ball was already passed up the floor. It was about at center when that hit came through, and they got the towel up to the face of whoever it is. He is up and walking off under his own power.
We'll see what happens here on this play. There's Clancy battling his way down. Oh, just runs the man into the boards, and Gillen is there immediately to stick up for his teammate. Here's a good shot from the other angle as Clancy kind of wraps his arms around
5 in the game.
Rough. And he
5 for
gone.
fighting. White's got 5 for fighting.
So Clancy, as you heard the announcement, 5 and a game misconduct for throwing Ross Smith into the end boards.
And a game. Yeah. And then 5 for fighting.
So they're going to be
the
without
5s cancel
Kyle
out.
Clancy.
Only put 5 on the clock for green.
You heard it all right there. Sorry, I kind of was jumping in there, but I'll let you hear it. The 5 in a game for Clancy, and then he and Gillen get 5 each for fighting.
5 fighting.
They will be without Clancy, the offensive player of the week with 6 points last week, for the rest of the game. So we'll be missing him. Plus, they're going to be shorthanded for 5 minutes, during which Barrie will have plenty of chance to score a couple of goals.
And that one hurts.
Yeah, Durham's going to have to throw their in-home player into the box.
Already 8-2, like you said. And Clancy making the long walk over to the bench. He's going to go down the tunnel as well. And he has a few words with Matt Giles, and Giles says, I don't know what you want to do, buddy.
Well, the whole way across, he just had his hands up and was looking at them as though he didn't know what was happening. But you watch the replay, it was pretty clear. He grabbed it with both hands, kind of rammed Smith's head into the boards. Ross Smith is gone. Don't know whether he'll return in this game, so they could be even. And, of course, with only 16 runners dressing for each team, losing a player, there's the replay, and Smith's helmet comes right off. We'll watch it one more time. Watch the hands of Clancy. The left hand wraps around him there, and then the right hand with the stick comes underneath, and the right hand actually pulls him into the board as much as the left hand is pushing him. So no question that that's a 5 in a game. I don't think there's much doubt about that.
It almost looks like he was trying to get the stick free because it was trapped in the body, but that motion caused the momentum. That did spin him around and landed him into the boards there.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. Like, it's probably not intentional.
Yeah,
like,
I was going to say, it may not have been Clancy's intent to smash Smith's head into the boards, but that was the result. And around the boards, you've got to be careful. You just can't take that kind of action.
All 5-minute majors are reviewed here in the Canadian Lacrosse League. Wayne Paddock is the man that has taken over that job, so he'll be called into action here on this one. As the shot comes from Shane Scott, the power play has already been effective for the Blizzard so far on the afternoon. As they get back to work once again, they'll have 5 minutes to do it.
There's the pass in front. Not quite connected with Maudsley. Teeter goes after the loose ball. It bounces out of the Turf Dogs crease, but finally is settled down. And here's the long outlet pass to Guerin, but nicely snagged by Brad Levick.
It was Aaron Brown from his own crease on a rope, but just cutting in front was Brad Levick. As we said, so Cameron Rowe will get another shot, and it's little plays like that that just, any hint you have of momentum, you say, okay, here we go, and it's just deflating.
And you know, it's a double-edged sword for Durham. If you can get that outlet pass like they're going for now to Guerin again, he's caught it, comes down, shoots, save. If you can get the goal, it's beautiful, but if you give up transition the other way, it just doesn't give your penalty killers much time to rest. There's a shot off the post.
That was Daryl Robertson, I believe, taking that one off. And we saw Barrie try and do this last week, and They wanted to go for the outlet here in the second and third, and they kept hitting the clock. It is a low clock out in Barrie, and the screen that comes down past the clock as well. So this time it's Durham trying to get it.
Yeah, it makes a big difference in Barrie. That screen that does protect the clock is probably a good couple meters lower than the clock itself. So you have a much better chance here. Teeter almost getting his fourth there as Croswell just gets his foot on it.
We're going to be looking for the 3 stars of the game after this one. I imagine that Teeter has played himself somewhere into consideration, if not on the list. As Monroe gets it back to him, Teeter takes a quick check of the clock. We're in under 3 minutes to go in the power play as they fire another shot. I thought that one went wide off the backboards, but they call it a shot. So not only does it reset, but that doesn't cause the over and back.
Yeah, you can see Brent McCauley, the official at center, indicating a touch. So that is another huge play. Again, the penalty killers for Durham have to be getting tired out there.
Shot from Teeter again, picked up by Durham. 10 to get over half, and they can't do it. And again, a long way from home in this long change quarter for the defense. Shane Scott was the man that picked it up over to John Ray. I guess if you want to take something away, it's that Barrie didn't change either. Their bench is close if they want to. This one will go off the back glass, and that will be over and back, and Brent McCauley's got a delayed penalty, and it's an illegal cross-check.
To Jeff McNulty, and I was just going to say, not only did Durham have their defenders stuck out there, 2 of them were Jesse Guerin and Jeff McNulty, primarily offensive players who in the Canadian Lacrosse League, of course, almost everyone's going to be playing at both ends, but you don't necessarily want to get McNulty and Guerin caught back there killing a penalty, and that's one of the side effects. So it's now 5-on-3. Barrie will leave one man up as a safety outlet, and that is going to be Jason Crawford. The other 4 will be down low playing 4-on-3 power play.
And you really respect the coaches. Again, penalty shot territory for the Turf Dogs if they take another one. But you really respect the coaches. How do you want to mix the lines here? It's something they maybe have never had to think about until they got here. Do you want to put 3 attack, 2 defenders? Do you want to load it on attack? Do you want to load it defense? What do you do? Here's Hogarth stealing it away, though. They get it into the zone. Again, 10 to get over half, 5 to get over the next line. And now we've got to watch the restraining line as that's where the over and back goes. Hogarth gets around 2 defenders, 3 if you want to count Teeter, who's back there as well, dove through, took the shot. Croswell to save.
What a play by Thomas Hogarth, a big physical defender with the Peterborough Junior A Lakers where he plays for Matt Giles. Showed some offensive flair on that one.
And it was Schuell and Armstrong back as they get the rest. So headed off was Hogarth. Brandon Armstrong gets back for him. Shane Scott goes behind the back to take the shot in on Croswell. As if he could get the quick stick, it was a nice slide over, I believe. That was Rennie down there, and Schuell passes it away again. How many turnovers is that?
During this 5-minute power play, it's been several, and there's another penalty coming to the Turf Dogs. That'll be a penalty shot once Barrie takes a shot on goal here, once the ball is turned over if they don't score.
Again, the benched players for Barrie sitting right next to us, and we'll see what the call is. It is
illegal substitution.
They had 4 players on, and Brent McCauley calls timeout. No signal for penalty shot yet, but it will be made. And Barrie Scratch is sitting next to us. We're screaming as the 4 Turf Dogs ran around trying to figure out who was getting off.
You just heard it from Mike Sullivan, too many men. So Kevin Croswell is going to need to be sharp to hold them off, as they'll have the penalty shot, and then they will continue with the 5-on-3. Brent McCauley is calling over Spencer James, the Barrie captain, and Scott Gamble, an alternate captain for Durham, to explain the situation.
Jeff McNulty has run over to the bench, so they've let the cross check go because that was the minor. Remember, the other 36 seconds is what's left of the major to Clancy. And now we've got another substitution penalty. Got any hand sanitizer? If you can find the in-house announcer here, Give him some hand sanitizer. Oh, we see a race. One from the far section, and we had another guy over there. Wearing some Turf Dog swag here in the building, so I think we may have taken the officials' time out. We're at 6:43.
I hope so, because they're still chatting down on the floor. Spencer James having quite a talk with Brent McCauley, trying to sort out the exact situation. Everyone's off the floor. The team's over, partly for the timeout, but
delete
partly,
the
I'd
36
imagine.
seconds.
Yeah, so they're leaving the 36 seconds.
Leave it or delete it.
They said, oh, maybe he said delete it.
Because it was McNulty that ran over.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 36 seconds would be the minor to McNulty.
The penalty to 71 comes off the clock, please.
Thank you, Mike Sullivan. And 45 seconds is Josh Gilray's cross check. Tim Bergen comes over to serve. 45 seconds, rather, pardon me, is the major to Clancy.
And
He's
Gilray is
the
serving
in-home
that. So they've
player.
had to send another player over, and that is Tim Bergen, who has taken that. And now Shane Scott comes out to take the penalty shot on Kevin Croswell.
And remember back to the beautiful breakaway goal he scored earlier in the first quarter. Shane Scott looking for his second goal. This will be his third point if he can do it. Goes far side. This time he elects to shoot, and it's off the shoulder of Croswell.
Still 8-2 for Barrie, and they still have the 5-on-3 advantage as the penalty with the least time on it comes off the board. They get the penalty shot, and oddly enough, there's only a minute 58 on the second penalty. I think they might have to back that up. See the replay of Shane Scott coming in. He's just going to let it fly off the arm of Croswell, as you mentioned, and I think it caught the crossbar as well. So Croswell getting just barely enough of that one.
That's all you need.
Now Goddard will face off against Johnny Ray, taking it for Barrie this time.
Still no winner as Goddard goes after it, and now Ray goes back and picks it up, but stolen away from Goddard. Look at the resiliency. As now he's going to play the body on Watt. Ray goes after him, Watt on the double team. And all this is doing is just eating time off the clock. Look at Dylan Goddard.
And
he draws a penalty. Wow. Filled in was Aaron Brown. And Brown grabs the man that
Tommy
did it
Watt
to
that
him.
hit him. And, Brown didn't like that, but Johnny Ray takes a penalty, and that is a tremendous shift by Dylan Goddard. He's known as a scorer, but he showed some toughness there.
And not known as a defensive player if you want to go the other way.
Yeah.
A lot of people said, he's very one-dimensional, but this looks like a lot more than one dimension to me as he then gets the stick back, rolls it to Brown. That's where Brown was filled in. But my goodness. Check out the Canadian Lacrosse League YouTube channel this week as Dylan Goddard, who's wearing the GoPro in warm-up, had a bit of a chuckle with some of his fans as the league's been giving you warm-up looks from all over the league so far. Gilray back on the floor as is that Goddard in the corner again?
That was Goddard
the
once
rest
again.
of the penalty?
And the other benefit of Goddard drawing that penalty is it gave Durham possession, which allowed them to kill the final 11 seconds on Clancy's penalty. So that means that we are now 4-on-4.
Teeter from the outside, bit of a change-up shot. Didn't fool Croswell though as the right foot came out. Gilray can't corral it in his stick. He's got him, man right on him. Brad Levick likes to go back for Joe Wasson. He tries to shoot it, bouncer through the 5-hole, and Durham picks up again. 40 seconds remain in their penalty. If they can kill this part off, it doesn't have to be a goal that changes momentum. It could be just something small like this. And that one shift, if it does change, will go back to Dylan Goddard in this game. Battle on for the ball as it bounces off the back dasher. Robertson up to pick it up in the neutral zone. Over the restraining line now. 15 in the initial penalty to the Turf Dogs as man is dropped on the far side. What a nifty little pass to spring Aaron Brown off the stick of Guerin. Brown in all alone. Oh, what a fake, the shovel back, and Dinley saved that. Stutter step return from Sullivan, and Dinley stands tall again. It's now a power play for for Durham, as the best penalty killer on the floor has been Angus Dineley. Weak attempt there from Robertson, and then the sticks come up.
Loose ball foul against the Blizzard, so Durham will get the ball and be able to get their man going.
Sidearm shot there, saved by Dineley. Goes to the far side for Sullivan. Goddard back on the floor. How fitting would this be if he scores the power play marker? Armstrong gets it back. All even is the call from the penalty box as Ray returns. Goddard shoots it into the body of the defender, though. Goddard with the loose ball back for Hogarth, cutting through. They score! And as we said, the momentum changing things. Dylan Goddard
71.
trying to change this game single-handedly. It's Hogarth with the goal, but Dylan Goddard was the man in the last 4 minutes.
Dylan Goddard, what a couple of shifts, and then Thomas Hogarth, we saw him break away to get a scoring chance earlier. This time he manages to finish, pulls Durham within 8-3, and Durham is working very hard and really starting to swing, as you said, the momentum in their direction. Here you see the battle off the face-off, and Jesse Gearin comes up with it, but he steps over the line to give an over and back call.
Barrie got drilled with one of those calls earlier, and they were all over that one.
Yeah.
Latimer on the crease, he can't release before the defender gets there, rolls out of his stick. Picks it up, back for Teeter. Teeter on the near side. Trying to go across the floor. Jason Crawford finds Teeter again. Pick in front of him, gets the shot down low on Croswell. He makes the save. Teeter chases his own rebound. Teeter over to the half boards. Teeter again, the cutter in front. That was Crawford. Defender slid over nicely again. And defense starting to pick up here for the Turf Dogs. Outside shot, Croswell to save. May look at the scoreboard and go, hey, it's 8-3, but 3 minutes left before halftime. We've still got a half a game plus 3 minutes. As Durham's got another opportunity here as it's Gilray in. There's the crease play, dragging the ball out, taking the shot, but Dineley was ready for that. But the Turf Dogs pick up the rebound. It was Scott Gamble on that attempt. And down all alone in front, the shot and the goal, Joe Wasson. As his teammates welcome him back to the league after a year off last
71.
year.
Joe Wasson didn't play last week, but does a nice job. Here is the save we're going to see by Dineley. Gamble's going to pull it out, as you said, and that having to wait for the ball to reach him because he couldn't go any further is going to cost him the shot, the goal. But there's Joe Wasson just staying outside the crease, keeping his body leaning back just enough to get that shot off and bury it.
The huge fake was to the right, and then just a little bit of a stutter to his left. He ended up going shot right, and Dineley had no answer for that. What a nifty little play by Wasson. His brother Josh now trying to shoot it through Brad Levick, and Levick gets the better of that one. That'll be an interesting car ride home. Between the two of those guys is Brad Levick in the corner for John Ray. They come back for Cameron Rowe. Griffiths far side is a lot of east-west action here, and the passes from Barrie. 5 on the shot clock, and Kevin Croswell's turn to make a big save. Croswell looking for the outlet as he goes to the front door. Mike Sullivan hits the deck. Pick from Garrett in front of the ball carrier. And they complete the change. Bergen. Back for his man. Walking off the half boards. 90 seconds to go before halftime. Under 10 to go in the shot clock here. The Turf Dogs will start their change so they can get the defenders in position. Wasson, sidearm shot. This time it goes wide. And Gamble out the door will just leave it, and the troops head down the floor.
Scott Gamble's having a very good game for these Durham Turf Dogs, helping them turn things around.
But again, it looked like Durham was too many as one man ran in front of the bench, and as he passed the door, his replacement stepped onto the floor. That one went undetected. But you're starting to get momentum if you're Durham. You don't want to kill it with another penalty here. Here's Teeter. Backing out, shot from Robertson. Croswell keeping them in it as he passes up the middle. 43 seconds, don't expect a timeout here. Bounce shot, what a pass from Guerin to find the man streaking on the far side.
Perfectly placed by Jesse Guerin. That is the kind of stuff we expect to see from him. He's had a bit of a slow start here in CLax, not dominating the way we thought, but that is vintage Jesse Guerin.
And it's Dylan Goddard streaking off the bench. Look at that pass one more time. And then the shot from Goddard.
Here's another angle of it, showing you he just splits the two defenders well apart. That is he made it look easy, but that is a very difficult pass that Jesse Guerin just made perfectly into the stick of Dylan Goddard, who buries yet another goal for the Turf Dogs.
Huge face-off, puts us under 30 seconds, and right away Matt Giles calls timeout. A few seconds ago, maybe 6 minutes, it was 8-1. It's now 8-5. Last possession will go to the Turf Dogs to try and make it 8-6 with momentum heading to the room.
Yeah, only 4 goals scored this quarter, the last 3 of them by Durham, as they did lead. The Barrie Blizzard led 7-2 heading into the second frame of play. And Barrie actually extended at 11 at 3:40 into the quarter when Michael Teeter got his hat trick, but the Turf Dogs really turning things around.
5-goal run for Barrie in the first.
Matt Giles having calling to the officials. He's got a question for them. As you can see,
I think he's asking where the ball's going to restart. It should be right at center. That's where the timeout was called.
well, they have their choice on a timeout, actually, starting in their own end or at center, wherever they would like to start. So in this case, obviously, they'll start at center floor. They've got the 6 attackers out.
Barrie is questioning the face-off there as it was picked up. The defender did run back over the line, but the timeout was called before that. So I think that's what the argument there is from the Barrie bench. Of course, after they got the first over and back, they're not going to miss any this afternoon. Clock running is, they added 2 seconds to the clock to put it back up to 24, but we're probably going to run it down to 7 or so anyways. Jesse Guerin has the ball on the far side. There is an extra attacker out as Croswell watches from the bench. 8 seconds, here comes the movement. Gilray, Guerin behind his back looking for Bergen in front, and it's on the carpet rolling down. They're going to run out of time though before we find out if it's on net. And Guerin with a huge slap there for Crawford, and now the cavalry comes in. Crawford picks it up. He's got the ball in his stick looking at Guerin like he's going to shoot it.
Wondering what Crawford was planning to do there.
So was he, I think. But the official doing a nice job getting between Guerin and him. Obviously, Crawford, if you shoot it at the official, it's a lot worse if you get it on Guerin. And this will be an interesting line change, but we'll take the half-time break. 8-5 for Barrie, but it's Durham with all the momentum. Broadcast being brought to you from JBI Sports Network. If you've got an event you want covered, visit jbisportsnetwork.com as you watch the carpet go down here at the GM Center. Roland Systems Group. Visit rolandsystemsgroup.com for the best in audio and video equipment. Our thanks to them for providing us with a lot of great stuff, a lot of cool toys to play with down there in the booth. And now, we'll take you to break. 8-5, the Barrie Blizzard lead here on the JBI Sports Network.
Come play like a pro with Junior CLax. Want to play winter box lacrosse in the same great venues as the pros? Well, here's your chance. CLax operates a winter box lacrosse league for kids. Divisions range from U9 to the Prospect Division or U18. Teams are located in Barrie, Oshawa, Niagara, Six Nations, and Paris, with games being played on the same days as the pros. Be sure you get yourself registered today, as the season starts January 2015. For more information, please visit CanadianLacrosse.com and come play like a pro. St. William's Nursery is Ontario's largest native plant nursery and is committed to biodiversity conservation. We offer a large selection of high-quality trees, shrubs, grasses, wildflower, and seed, all which are grown from a source-identified, wild-collected seed. Visit us on May 2nd and 3rd at our annual spring public sale. Choose from a beautiful selection of species, all at special wholesale pricing. Visit us at stwilliamsnursery.com for details.
Hello, lacrosse fans. Welcome back to the Oshawa General Motors Center. It is 8-5 for the Barrie Blizzard, but the Durham Turfdogs have the momentum as they held off a 5-minute power play and scored the last 3 goals of the half. And here you see drawing a penalty. Watch Johnny Ray in white, number 11. Right here is going to cross-check, and then it's going to come afterwards. I'm not sure if it was for that cross-check because the hand went up a little bit early, a little bit late for that call, but nonetheless, it is a penalty. Great work by Dylan Goddard, and then Aaron Brown gets flattened.
That was, for my mind, the play of the period because it comes shortly after the penalty shot saved by Kevin Croswell on Shane Scott. And that was, I mean, Durham was in penalty trouble. The score was 8-2 at that point. They end up killing off the power play, and then they get the last 3 in the last 4 minutes. So maybe not the goal scorers, but huge impacts on this game, and that brings us to our 3 stars. Tweet us at JVI Video. Use the hashtag 3 stars for where you think they should be, and you can give us names, you can give us an order, you can give us one person for all 3 stars. We've had that
It's
before.
happened before plenty of times, usually from a relative.
So whether you're here in the building, we've got it up on the Jumbotron as well, here in the building or watching at home. If you're watching via tape delay, don't tweet us because it's over.
Yeah.
But we do want to hear what you have to say. We've got some ideas of our own. Mike Teeters had a great game. You said Scott Gamble is doing well, but for my money, the momentum changer in that period was Dylan Goddard.
Yeah, I think Goddard has to be considered after what he did. Goddard also has a couple of goals for Durham, so he's doing it on the scoreboard and off the scoreboard. And I think Scott Campbell's been very good. I think Angus Dineley has really made a difference for Barrie. Teeter's been terrific. Now, again, the scoring is one part. He's just been controlling play. I love watching the way he's got the stick cocked down low, hands close together, ready to shoot anytime, and he can pass from that position as well very accurately.
Double minors on the board between Jesse Guerin and a member of the Blizzard, Jason Crawford, for their exchange at the end of the period. And Matt Giles was screaming at the Barrie bench. Not sure what that was about. Brad MacArthur looked over and he wasn't sure what that was about. And don't know if you can even hear him.
Yeah, it is pretty loud in here
in
today.
This building, but ball on the carpet. Mike Maudsley picks up. He's been there all day, takes a shot, resets the shot clock.
What a play by Brandon Armstrong to control the ball as he spun around, was hit, had his stick chopped, still hung on to it to get it up into the offensive zone.
Ball comes back up top. McNulty. Down low, he's got, looks like Aaron Brown. Now the shot comes back from McNulty, who cut to the net. Saved by Dineley. It's going to roll back into his crease now. Oh, between the legs. What a play by McNulty. Rebound comes back. And is that Tim Bergen who makes the save? Scores the goal, rather, sorry.
McNulty, who we really didn't see much of in the first 2/3 of the first half. And then he started to really come to the fore. A lovely little play, spinning and getting that shot between the legs. It leads to the goal by Bergen, tucking it over the shoulder. You'll see McNulty scoop the ball here, go between the legs. It bounces out of the stick of Dineley, and Bergen just reaches slightly above Angus Dineley to get that shot off. Here's the play off the faceoff. Thomas Hogarth once again getting involved offensively, but Rob Coger does a nice job of steering him aside, so Hogarth will slow things down. We're still 4-on-4 as Hogarth is flattened by the help defense of Mike Gillen. Barrie was determined, Brad MacArthur said, their head coach, to be bigger and harder to play against this year, and they certainly are living up to it. Here comes Gillen with the shot. Croswell stops it, but gives up the rebound to Scott. Croswell scrambling, the net moving. Gillen still has it and scores. What a play by Mike Gillen from one end, flattening Hogarth, causing the turnover down to the other end with the initial shot, and then he gets the rebound off the shot from Shane Scott.
27-23.
Through a couple of men and buries a 5-hole on Kevin Croswell.
Well, we've seen individual efforts at both sides of the floor, and Mike Maudsley's been the guy on the crease, but How about Gillen to step back out and then take the shot? He draws the attention of 3 defenders. I think everyone was thinking he was going to pass back down to Shane Scott on the far side, but he elects to go over the top, one-handed. Man, we've got a battle now, 9-6 on the scoreboard as Durham's within 3. Barrie trying to stop the bleeding here a little bit as there's 5 seconds remaining in the offsetting penalties. We'll go back to 5-on-5.
Great two-way play by Mike Gillen, who I know was hoping to be on Team England for the 2011 World Championships. He's certainly making a good case to be on the team for 2015.
Cam Monroe from the outside, the shot into the Turf Dogs logo for Croswell. And we've got a pair of 18s, Connor Latimer and Josh Wasson, mixing it up behind the play. Darren goes after the loose ball. Spencer James there, Donnelly out to throw a pick. And they end up coming up for Zach Tompkinson. Tompkinson's pass just a little behind Watt. So it ends up back up top for Mike Teeter. Down in the corner, Durham Turfdogs scratches are watching this game. They're being joined by a couple members of the Oshawa Generals. We saw this last week as well. As Brad Levick the shot, and it just goes wide to the top corner. Had the corner momentarily.
Let's go, Dogs, go!
And now they'll head up the floor. Nevin Sullivan. Aaron Brown along the half boards. Pardon me, Gilray. Bergen coming in to help out. The ball pops out of Gilray's stick. Right into the stick of Watt. And then Donnelly out to throw the pick. Somehow the ball ended up out of the stick of Watt, and Bergen didn't realize he was too busy, again, saucerized on the goalie.
Well, Angus Donnelly may actually have knocked the ball out of his own player's stick as he jumped out to be part of the play to take away Bergen's chance to trail Tommy Watt. And Watt lost the ball. It was actually out behind Angus Donnelly and available.
There's Teeter walking in with the shot. Both his goals today have come from the outside. He goes down low this time. And it's McNulty going to carry it up slowly over center. Again, still a short change for the third. We'll switch back in the fourth as they work over for Aaron Brown. 15 on the clock. That was a nifty, almost a knuckleball shot. You could see it dance in midair. And he was looking top corner, but Donnelly took that one away.
Aaron Brown, another guy known primarily for his defense, one of the best and most underrated defenders in this league, but had a nice shot at the corner there.
Finally got a look in Bandits camp, but unable to stick with that squad. That was the problem for Boucher last year. And now Colin Boucher getting his chance with the Vancouver Stealth. Not in the lineup for Barrie today if you've joined us late. That's the reason why. Mike Maudsley feeds it down to Rob Koger for Shane Scott. Scott cutting to the net, and he tried to stay out of the way of the crease, but ended up touching down. Kyle Clancy started this game for Durham, but a big hit in behind the boards got him 5 in a game. It was Ross Smith who took that hit, and not sure we've seen Ross Smith return. So
Shane Scott and Eric Schul. But Scott and Schul jawing all the way to the bench after Scott stepped in the crease, was knocked to the turf by Schul, and then grabbed onto Schul's leg as he spun him over.
It's been a chippy game, and there's been a lot of play to add to that right in around the crease and the goaltenders. So chippy to start with, and you start getting crease play involved, and that's where things start to get a little nasty. Rob Koger over for Monroe again. Comes up for Teeter. Ball always seems to find Mike Teeter, especially today. We'll see how they utilize him as the season goes on, though, as Tompkinson takes that shot, the save from Croswell, and Brown gets drilled into the boards, goes after Tompkinson, up into the face mask, and this is going to draw everyone in the building, I think.
Brown took the initial hit while the ball was loose, was flattened into the boards, and immediately went after Tompkinson. It's hard to say exactly when the penalty was called. We'll see it soon. It looks like they are both going. Tompkinson making his way to the bench, but I think he'll be told to go over to the box. It looked like McCauley pointed with both hands. Here comes the play. Brown knocking the loose ball away. Gets hit as he's going to pick it up. Immediately goes after Brown, or after Tompkinson does get it up. You can see Brown knocking the ball away. That's a shoulder-on-shoulder hit. Drives Brown hard into the boards. And then Brown gets the stick up a bit into the face of Tompkinson.
Got 2 minutes high sticking, 2 minute roughing, 2 minute roughing.
High
So
stick?
4 minutes.
Oh, sorry. What's the second one?
Roughing. High sticking and roughing, and then we got roughing.
So
So
Brown
the
takes
doubles
the
go to the
initial,
Turf Dogs.
initial high sticking penalty, and then Brown and Latimer each get 2 minutes for roughing for the melee after the
It was
initial
Brown
hits.
and Tompkinson. Tompkinson made a beeline for the tunnel. He's actually sitting on the bench now getting the jaw and the face looked at. So that's why Latimer's in the box serving the penalty.
What do you get 4 for? High stick and rough?
Correct.
As we'll go 4-on-4 once again. And can we get more ink to the penalty box, please?
Okay, now we're going to see what happened as we take another look. Just as play is getting ready to get underway. Here's Brown knocking the ball away. He's going to take the initial hit from Tompkinson. Brown will immediately go after him. We're going to be back to live action play. It may have actually been Latimer because he's the one who ran in and grabbed hold of Aaron Brown.
Well, it was a roughing call. It wasn't,
Yeah.
the penalty wasn't for the hit. That was
No.
good.
Yeah.
So I guess
we
it is
said,
Latimer.
shoulder
The
to
18,
shoulder.
yeah, the 18's on the
Yep.
board. So it will be Latimer's penalty. We had a moving pick on Mike Maudsley down the other way. If you're wondering how the Turf Dogs got the ball here, pick and roll. This one executed legally. Rebound pops out for Bergen. 9-7. Turf Dogs continue to claw their way back.
Bergen is turning himself into the Phil Esposito of Canadian Lacrosse League. The shot, the initial behind the back pass with dandy
43
by
and 9.
Jesse Guerin. He's going to get it over to Dylan Goddard. Goddard's going to take this first shot, and Bergen just picks up the rebound and fires it home. They should be giving Dylan Goddard an assist here as well.
43 from 9.
So it should read, you heard 43 from 9, that's Guerin getting an assist. Should go 43 from 49 and 9. We'll see if Goddard gets that one. That gives him 2 goals and, well, at least 1 assist. Goddard's been awfully good. Jesse Guerin really starting to find his stride in the Canadian Lacrosse League as well.
Lawson gave somebody a shot as he ran by. Here's Teeter. Over for Griffiths. Teeter again, a change-up shot again, rebound right there. Not able to pick that up was Griffiths. And Griffiths has to give chase now as Turf Dogs have it in flight. They were looking for the tic-tac-toe on the crease. And Evan Sullivan not able to come up with it. He was dropped, so he goes after his man.
Veteran
And it
play
looked
by
like-
Jeff Griffiths, who made the big hit. Thought he may have gone through the crease, so he didn't play the ball and just told his teammate to do so.
Looked like the Turf Dogs got away with the substitution call again, as they've got to go to that far door, and as they pass it, they're always sending one man early. It looks like from here anyways. There's a shot from the outside, bounds off the backboards, giving chase is Nevin Sullivan. We saw him use his wheels to get a goal last week, but this time the hands let him down as he can't pick up the ball. So it'll just go for an over and back, and they'll settle down the possession here. And 5 seconds from now, it'll be a Barrie Blizzard power play as Latimer is ready to get back out. And just like that, we're into the officials' timeout territory. Latimer's all alone if they can get him the ball.
Hey,
Brent
score.
McCulley runs a bit of a pick. And now it's a 2-on-1. Latimer can't hang on to the return pass. Jesse Guerin in there to cause trouble. Latimer steals it from Croswell though. Back for Tompkinson, who's back on the bench. Back on the floor rather, after getting looked at on the bench. That's the reason why Aaron Brown's in the penalty box for the next minute 30. Maudsley catches that in midair, takes the shot, hits nothing before getting off the glass. And
Now we'll get the officials' timeout as the ball bounces into the Barrie bench. What a play, an effort by Zach Tompkinson to get that ball. He was the one down in the Barrie end who had a man on him, saw that Latimer was coming out of the box, and just flung the ball down. Knew it didn't have to be a perfect pass. He just had to get it up in the neighborhood. Latimer and another teammate, create a 2-on-1, but Latimer can't accept the return pass. When they do get the shot, it heads out into the bench. There are some Barrie players, and Scott DiFrancesco, who is here looking to join the Blizzard team, was indicating it went off of a Turf Dog player, but we will wait and see which way the ball goes to start play after this break.
There was no signal on the floor. We've been watching the whole way as Brent McCulley looks like he's explaining the face-off rule, which goes a lot like field, where you can do pretty much whatever you want and stay on your own side, and then however you want to get that ball out of there, it's entirely up to you. It's how they do the face-offs. But we also saw Aaron Brown come out and ask about that hit. He says, he just came and ran me over. He says, what am I supposed to do? He said, no, that's shoulder to shoulder, 9-foot rule.
Yeah, it's again, much like field lacrosse, you can hit a guy while the ball is loose on the floor and you're going for it. Aaron Brown didn't like it, but it was a clean shoulder to shoulder hit. It just blew him into the boards was what he really hated about it. Brown has 1:26 remaining in his second penalty, the roughing one for tangling with Latimer afterwards. And Dylan Goddard has a couple of Blizzard on him and gets rid of it immediately.
That didn't stop him last quarter.
Yeah.
Quick stick goal, Josh Wasson.
Gorgeous. Josh Wasson, who for several years was one of the best crease players at attacking the crease in Major Series lacrosse, shows how effective he can be cutting towards the net.
18-71-49.
The pass from McNulty, and Goddard getting an assist there. Hopefully, as we said, he'll get the one for the last goal. Here's the pass by McNulty. Perfect to Wasson, and just flings it underneath the bouncer. Here's another good look as he just bounces it past Angus Dinley, and Durham is within one with the shorthanded goal. Here comes Barrie off the faceoff. Mike Gillett shoots. That one stopped by Croswell. Levick will track it down, but he can't control it, and Pete Rennie goes after the ball. He's muscled off of it, and Coker comes up with it over to Gillen. They're going to slow it down and set up the offense.
It's taken almost an entire quarter and a half, but Durham just about has erased that first quarter 7-2 deficit that they put themselves in. 9-8 now, still short-handed are the Turf Dogs. 45 seconds to go as Teeter and Monroe play catch. Down to Shane Scott. He looks for Teeter. Teeter and Motley switch spots. It's Teeter with the shot. 2 on the clock as Croswell made the save. Now the rebound up for grabs. Schuell's in there. It's dug out by Gamble.
Nice work by Thomas Hogarth after he lost the ball. You're going to have a 10-second count, they'll lose it, but great job. And I think they may have started the possession count a little bit early. At least that's what Durham thinks.
We could hear Aaron Brown, I'm not sure if you can hear it at home, but screaming from the penalty box to get the ball over. He started screaming at about 7. So they weren't even near the restraining line yet. And now Kevin Croswell notices that, and he comes out to help. Gamble doing his best Guerin impression with the bounce pass. This one not as nice. It's a 4-on-1. Now they turn it 3-on-1. Shane Scott, Maudsley, Levick, and it's the one that gets the better of it. Josh Wasson off his stick as Brown comes out of the box. Let's see if we can play some 5-on-5 here for the last 5 minutes of the third. Ray to the far side. Scott's down there. And the cutter looked like Cam Monroe. They couldn't find him. And now off to the races. Looking to tie things up here. Dylan Goddard shoots it off the shoulder of Dinley. Brown with the rebound, though. This is one of the biggest comebacks we've seen if they can do it. Turf Dogs, that is. Down 7-2 after 1. 9-8 now is the score. As Bergen tries to dive through the crease, dives in the direction of the goalie and lands in the crease. So a crease violation against the Turf Dogs.
Interesting that last week the Barrie Blizzard trailed 7-2, got within 7-6. Then they fell behind some more. Oh, and there's a shot by Teeter again from the outside. His 4th goal of the game. Just going to say, Barrie got within 1 of Southwest. Then Southwest pulled ahead, and the fighting back into it really took a lot of energy out of Barrie.
6:44.
Again, the assist to Angus Dinley, and it'll be interesting to see after this goal if the momentum goes back to Barrie.
Just like the first one, just a little tiny skip off the carpet. And that fools him just enough to get it through the 5-hole. And this face-off is so important, as they've all been all day. Schuwell can't grab it past 2 or 3 defenders. Gillen got it. Armstrong pops it out of his stick, and Wasson fills in his man, and it is Barrie that comes away with it. Connor Latimer will start. Latimer around the outside, Sullivan with him. Back for Scott. He winds up that huge rifle of a shot that he's got. Croswell finds it, makes the save, and back for Armstrong. Armstrong on the near side. Robertson over to check him. Josh Wasson to the half boards. Looks off the man behind the net. Now he gives it to him. A lot of movement in front. Back for Guerin though. Guerin behind his back. On the crease was Goddard, and that was intercepted before he could get it. Scott's in behind the defenders, but they'll pull up. Has a nice job there. Looked like Tim Bergen hustling down the floor to catch up with Shane Scott.
Jeff McNulty as well, hustling back to deny the odd man chance and force Tompkinson to pull it back out.
Teeter up for Robertson. Robertson off the glass. Taken away from the goaltender. This is McNulty. Over for Guerin. Jesse Guerin over everybody to the far side. He looks for Goddard. Goddard puts it on the carpet to himself. Back for McNulty, takes a bit off it. Gets the shot off the glass. It's going to bounce down over center now. And Griffiths is there to pick up, so it's not over and back. And Griffiths draws the defense of Gilray. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. 10-8 now for the Barrie Blizzard. Levick in the corner. Over for Ray. He dances around, takes the shot off the left arm of Croswell. Mike Maudsley with the rebound. Fresh 30 for Barrie, as Monroe has it. To the far side for Ray, and a moving pick as Monroe got aggressive, and Ray rolls it into the corner. The bench of the Turfdogs screaming for a delay of game penalty. Here's Josh Gilray. Over into the corner. A look to set up. 2 minutes to go as delayed change is the last man coming out. Here's Bergen. Pushed aside, 10 on the clock. Rennie trying to throw a pick here so Bergen can get any kind of room to either shoot or pass. Now they've got to force the issue with 2 on the clock, and Ray's there to pick up just before the shot clock does expire.
Tim Bergen just running out of time. You mentioned took 15 seconds for Durham to get all 5 players out in the offensive zone that time, so they really didn't have much time to work with.
Again, we talked about this last week. If you're not used to playing this style of lacrosse, there's a whole ton of running and conditioning, and one of the first things to go is the mental aspect. As we watch Teeter, 2 goals from the outside. Now he's trying to go and come inside, put a toe on the line though. So the ball goes back to Durham. So not sure if that was a personnel issue or some kind of set play. As the Turfdogs get it, closing in on 1 minute to play in the third quarter.
Last minute of play in the third quarter.
Garrett down low, back for Armstrong here. On the crease, the shot, and that gets through Dinley. Jeff McNulty
showing what Matt Giles called NLL hands when he was talking about him in preseason. And McNulty, he was waiting for that pass to get there, just knew exactly where he wanted to go. And when it got there, he made no mistake.
71-9.
Jesse Garrett with the assist. He's having a strong game as well. That'll give him.
71-9. I was pretty sure 14 passed it.
But it is actually the pass coming from Brandon Armstrong. So Armstrong should get an assist on that one as well.
71-9-14.
Now it sounds like they are giving it to him. It's 10-9. Durham back within 1 goal. Can they climb all the way up the hill?
Goddard with a check for the clock. That ball hooks at the last minute and ends up in the crowd as Dinley picks up here. Gives for Rob Koger. Koger bounces it around the defender up to Shane Scott. Koger will head off as Spencer Janes in the corner. See if Janes is going to stay out there now as there's 20 seconds left. About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock as they'll try and run out as much as they can. Connor Latimer. Griffiths Cuts to the net, over for Scott. Scott shoots that one, a riser, dangerous. As ducking out of the way was Brent McCauley off the back glass. Croswell's going to head to the net here. Head to the bench, rather. As the way outside shot, James and not sure who that was.
Nevin Sullivan had the ball at the end for Durham, and didn't have a whole lot of time as the ball ricocheted away. I'm actually looking down and trying to see if Mark Farthing is still playing for Durham today, because I haven't really seen much of him lately, and we'll try to update that for you. But we will be back with the fourth quarter of this exciting Canadian Lacrosse League game. I am Stephen Stamp with Matthew Carrick. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this.
Learning College has identified the gap between education and the stressors of the working world. We develop customized programs for each student at an affordable cost. Students can choose from over 30 diploma and certificate programs offered at any of Academy of Learning College's 17 Ontario-based locations. Simply a better way to learn. Learn more at academyoflearning.com. Fire Monitoring of Canada is the leader in the fire alarm monitoring industry, specializing in the early notification of fire alarm signals to the fire department. Our experienced customer service staff will work closely with you to develop the best solution for your specific monitoring needs, and our CFAA certified technicians are qualified to perform your installation quickly and efficiently. Be sure to choose Fire Monitoring of Canada, because saving time saves lives. Visit us at fire-monitoring.com.
Back live inside the General Motors Center, set for the final 15. And we've got ourselves a game, 10-9 for the Barrie Blizzard. But as we said going to break, a bit short on that bench. We only count 14 green jerseys.
Yeah, just 9 on the bench, 5 on the floor. Of course, Kyle Clancy kicked out of the game. They have 16 runners to start with. Clancy gone. We haven't seen Mark Farthing for a while. He did, as you were pointing out, get his helmet knocked off early in the game and served a penalty because he took a slash after that, but we really haven't seen much of him lately. So we'll see if fatigue is a factor for Durham down the stretch, as they're 2 men short trying to run the ball here in the fourth quarter.
Well, and you pointed out it'd been a while since we saw Jeff McNulty, and we saw a lot of him near the end of that third quarter. So perhaps he's filling in for Farthing, or maybe someone else, or they're just trying to mix things up so fatigue doesn't become a factor here, as Durham's found themselves right back in. And Watt all alone, though, as Brad Levick finds him.
Beautiful pass by Levick. Little touch pass, and they're looking for the ball, as that is Tommy Watt's first goal in Canadian Lacrosse League. It has gone up to center. Now Cam Monroe gets it and takes it over to the bench, so they can record that. And you're going to see here, watch for the nice pass as Levick takes the bounce pass. 2 players come out on him. He draws Hogarth and then just makes the little touch pass. And the second Durham defender a little bit slow recovering.
What a face-off win there by Mike Gillen. As it goes all the way down to the half boards in his own zone. Tinley, the only man close to it. So he came out to play it, and Crawford cuts the corner on Brown, goes in. Croswell falls into his own net. But the ball remained sitting there for Josh Wasson. As he goes up the floor, finds Tim Bergen. He splits the defense, goes in, takes the shot, and then runs over Dinley. Not sure if it was him running over Dinley or if he gave the shoulder to Crawford, who crashed in.
No, that was Bergen going straight into Dinley, and nobody really went after him. It's 11-9, so you can't really afford to take unnecessary penalties, but I thought somebody would have at least given him a bit more of a bump than they did.
And maybe it's coming later.
Yeah.
Here's Tito with the shot. Shane Scott's going to chase down the rebound. In the corner, Scott gets a pick in front from Tompkinson, and was enough to stumble Joe Wasson, so Wasson a bit of a bump for Tompkinson.
Here's the replay of the drive to the net. Here's Bergen the shot, and then runs into Dinley. Crawford coming after it. Dinley did kind of come out and was almost equal in initiating that contact as he stepped right out into Bergen.
We've seen Donnelly do that a lot, and it ends up in problems. Last year with Barrie and Oswego. Before that, the Toronto Shooting Stars, Brampton
Melee, the huge
Inferno.
brawl.
Well, it was the game before that led to the melee where he stepped out, I think, on Brock Boyle. And that caused like a 4-player rumble, 4-on-4 rumble down on the floor.
And then, of course, Donnelly making a pass, ripping a ball into the Brampton bench that helped to incite that big.
That was the one that started the brawl, yes.
Goalies were very involved there because Steve Fryer, the backup goalie for Brampton, really got it going. He threw a water bottle across to the other bench and hit Coach Glenn Clark. That shot is late.
After the whistle, yeah. I think there was a moving pick in front. I believe they called it on Cam Monroe. So Brad Levitt gets one taken off the board. We'll see if they make it a 2-goal swing back the other way for Durham. Goddard's got it outside now.
And to be fair on that one, Croswell had stopped playing the ball when he heard the whistle go.
Shot there, skips off the carpet, off the backboards. Over and back signal is there. 3 on the shot clock as Goddard has it fall out of his stick. That's not the way you want to throw it if the shot clock's going to expire. Levitt chases it down, picks it up, and he's staring at 4 green jerseys, so he waits for reinforcements. Outside shot there from Teeter.
Teeter wants 5, or as many as he can get.
Right now doing his best Kyle Okposo impression from last night.
I did not see that game.
Not a lot of people did. No one's really watching the New York Islanders these days. Jesse Guerin to the far side. Oh, Jeff McNulty, a bit of a sidearm changeup shot. That looked like it fooled Donnelly, but he did make the save.
Durham will start with the ball again as Jesse Guerin takes it and circles around.
Here's Tim Bergen. Bergen for Goddard for Jesse Guerin. Guerin crosses everybody to the far side. They cycle over on the near side now for Goddard. It goes off the back glass and over and back. So Barrie will get an opportunity here, 11-9. After it was 7-2 after the opening quarter, Kevin Croswell comes in and allows just 4 goals since that time. Last week it was Cole Murray allowing 4 goals over the course of the game. Darryl Robertson trying to wheel around the top, looking for help. Being chased there by Pete Rennie. Hands off Shane Scott, puts the brakes on just before being hit. Lets a shot go, and Croswell, the rebound control to put it in the corner.
Yeah, Croswell hugging his post to turn that one aside.
Running up for Nevin Sullivan. Turf Dogs making changes on the fly here. As we're back to the short defensive change, so if the goalie comes out, he's got that short run as opposed to adding an extra 60 feet. 30 to pass the one door, and then 30 as the new guy comes on, of course. Here's Connor Latimer picking up. He's just going to run past everybody. And now drilled and taken down. They call a reset as it rolls in on Croswell. Joe Wasson clears center. What a nice job by 3 Turf Dogs to chase down Latimer. And look at the Turf Dogs that come off the bench. They all sit on the bench and hunch over, trying to get whatever gasp of air they can. Again, short bench for the Turf Dogs. As Kyle Clancy ejected in the second quarter. And we haven't seen Mark Farthing and Barrie. Obvious fresher legs as they're going for another run here. Maybe they're noticing that and they want to stretch the floor here a little bit, get Turf Dogs running and really tire them out.
Well, and a nice sprint by Jesse Guerin after the ball popped out of his stick, was turned over, picked up by Johnny Ray, and Ray rumbling down the floor. Guerin absolutely sprinting to take away a scoring chance and force Barrie to slow things down here.
Griffiths will go to the half boards for Teeter. He gets just a little bump, which pushes his momentum around the net. Got a shot away from the side of the net, not a high-quality opportunity, so Croswell turns that away just as the shot clock was about to expire. Out in front, Dylan Goddard has that tip off his stick. Picks it back up. And Griffiths Runs over center. Now we've got Turf Dogs in the tunnel trying to stretch out. Maybe some cramps, and there's a whole lot of hurt going on down on that Durham bench. Now's not the time as you come back within 2.
It's going to be awfully difficult for Durham at this point to maintain the momentum, but they get a picked off pass there, and they're doing everything they can to try and get back in, but Barrie so far holding strong to their 2-goal lead.
They do clear center in about 8 seconds, getting it up for Joe Wasson. Over for Guerin. Back to the far side, the shot skips off the shoulder of Dinley and took a funny hop right in front of Wasson and got away from him. Picked up by Koger, and he's going to clear center now as the Turf Dogs are changing again. Up for Brad Levick.
Barrie doing a pretty nice job here of deciding when to run and when not to. If it's there, they're taking it. But if it's not open, they're just slowing things down, letting the clock keep ticking.
Well, they're in the driver's seat here with the 2-goal lead, and not sure if they realize what's going on the Turf Dog bench as fatigue's starting to set in, but they can afford to sit back. They can afford to push when they want. Dylan Goddard now. His shot off a body in front. Looked like it might have been Mike Maudsley as he shakes the shoulders out. And we've got a moving pick in front. And now the jog to the bench. It's a long way, and it's becoming a lot slower, which makes the fresh legs get there that much longer. And we'll take the officials' time out here, as not sure they realize that every Turf Dog immediately exhales and takes a seat.
Ross Smith is back on the floor for Barrie. They had been a little short-handed. He was banged up on that play by Kyle Clancy that resulted in his ejection. And he had returned, but he's wearing number 28, so something must have happened to his number 8 jersey in that. Let us know who you think should be the 3 stars of the game. Tweet us at JVI Video. Certainly Peter contender. Kevin Croswell, who's come in and played very well for Durham in net. I think Dylan Goddard's been outstanding. Got to look at a number of players from both teams, but let us know who you think they should be. You've got about 4 minutes.
Yeah, like we said, Dylan Goddard with a couple goals, but the bigger thing to consider is that momentum change that came about halfway through the second quarter. Croswell, the combination of Croswell and Goddard was what got that started, so keep that in mind as you go to send us your tweets at JVI Video, hashtag 3 stars. And again,
taking a look, and nobody with huge numbers on either team. Jeff McNulty with 3 assists to go along with the goal, that last goal for the Durham Turf Dogs. But it's been very balanced scoring on both sides, other than Teeter, of course, with his 4. And now Croswell is making his way up to the restraining line. Not sure if he's going to go off the floor or if he's just going to be an outlet pass, and Guerin will just run up the floor. As Jason Crawford covers him, Guerin now is going to make his way towards the net, looking for someone to pass to. No Turf Dogs to get open. Then a cutter in the middle was a miss as Bergen got open. Now Goddard with it. They've got 10 seconds to shoot. Pass across, doesn't get through, and it's scooped up by Tompkinson, who just makes a nice little flip pass up to Crawford. He's going to run the floor and take a shot a little bit wide. It goes to Durham. They've got a 3-on-2 going back the other way.
Yeah, and it was a man popping off the bench quick. We talked about the defender slow to the bench, and it was one man just hauling it, getting over there, and that allowed what turned out to be an attacking player. It was a defender trying to get out there.
Jesse Guerin trying to make that pass to Josh Wasson. Probably should have taken the shot, as they were definitely taking away the passing lane. Guerin elected to make the pass. And you mentioned that sometimes decisions are one of the things that goes as you get tired late in the game. Not that making that pass is a bad idea, but if the passing lane's taken away, now we're going to have a too many men or illegal substitution call against Barrie. They're putting their hands up wondering why. And now they're going to have an officials gathering. Brent McCauley pulling in Mike Sullivan. All 3 will get together and chat. And Rob Blaisdell, you saw him. Oh, no, they're going to discuss it. They're going to overturn it. They're picking up the flag, as it were.
Oh, boy.
And Barrie wins that argument.
Get Dallas on the phone.
Yeah.
They had a man pop out the door and then jump back in as if that would have been the 6th attacker, and I think that screwed up Brent McCauley because there were only 4 attackers on the floor.
Yeah, he was still in the change box, so all was well. So Barrie gets possession of the ball. A big call that is.
But they did only have 4 attackers out there anyways. Croswell, it gets behind him, but a nice job to drop down and put the stick on it. And now do we have offsetting penalties? Brent McCauley's picked somebody to go to the box. Just itching to give a penalty out after the too many men. He couldn't, I guess.
Scott Gamble not looking too happy. And it is going to be matching penalties, high sticking for both of them.
He's going to take Mike Maudsley off the floor, though, which, Gamble's a great defender. Maudsley's a great offensive player, so I guess take your pick.
Maudsley really a transition specialist, so I just think Gamble's been awfully good for this Durham Turfdogs team today.
They need all they can get right now.
Durham will get possession of the ball. McNulty starting with it as we go to 4-on-4.
It's Goddard coming off the boards. Takes the shot, and it's off Dinley. Then it pops off Brent McCauley right in front of McNulty, who couldn't pick it up. And look at the speed difference here as Daryl Robertson just makes Goddard look like he's standing still. And Goddard's not a slow player.
Oh, what a play by Aaron Brown over the head to get it to Goddard. Aaron Brown, another Turf Dog who's played very well with all the players who have had such good games. It's almost surprising that they're actually still trailing.
Like Turf Dog player may have popped a foot on the
what
crease.
a goal!
Looked like that one was even more in the crease, but Gilray's going to get credit.
Brandon Armstrong buries that one. Angus Dinley is livid at the officials. Let's take a look at the replay and see what we think. It's
14, 21, 18.
But here comes the bounce pass from Josh Wasson. There's a shot. Crawford picks up, or Armstrong. I think that's a good goal. He got it away quickly.
This will be a great
this angle's
shot.
going to tell us. Gets the shot, follows through, gets his own rebound. No problem there.
That's a good goal.
That's a good goal.
That's a good goal.
And it's 11-10.
Great call. Dinley doesn't like it, but he was looking up at the screen to see the replay, and I'm not sure if he got a good enough look at it, but from where we sit, that's a good goal, and it's a 1-goal game with 5 to play, folks. This is why you don't go try and catch the early train.
Yeah. And we're still 4-on-4 with 1:07 left to go in those matching penalties to Gamble and Maudsley.
It's been special teams today, and that's where Durham's got back into it. Over for Guerin. Down in the corner, a couple fakes, faking low, faking high. Trying to give chases Bergen, but he's not going to catch up. So he's going to chase the ball down to get back in a defensive position. Croswell, nice job there. He was going to flip it into the corner, but then saw that his defense was changing, so he let it roll behind the net so the official could take the extra 2 seconds and reset the ball.
Yeah, he just kind of dropped it in there. Not enough to cause a delay of game call as he rolled it towards the official.
Whoa.
Big hit by Guerin, knocking Shane Scott down.
And Scott doubled over as he heads to the bench. We'll see where he goes. As we got a 3-on-3 back the other way. Nevin Sullivan shoots wide off the glass. A lot of English on this one as he comes up into the stands.
And Jesse Guerin, a guy known for his offensive prowess, was a real leader with the Ajax Rock and MSL, has played some very good offensive seasons, but showing that he's a good all-around player with some nice defensive work as well for Durham.
And Shane Scott didn't. He bypassed the bench, went down the tunnel, and the trainers followed him. He's gone all the way down the tunnel, back into the bowels of the GM Center here, all even, as we're back to 5-on-5, so we'll keep an eye on that, as it's a 1-goal game with under 4 minutes to play now. Brad Levick in all alone, though. A couple fakes and a goal.
That is a huge goal. Durham trying to battle back. Once again, they pulled within one, and what a play by Jeff Griffiths to knock that ball down. Realized as he went to pick it up that he had no time to collect the ball and make a play, so he just batted it over. And they just announced unassisted. They have got to give Jeff Griffiths an assist. There's the big hit on Guerin, by Guerin on Scott. Oh, here's the goal. Griffiths just batting it over What a play. I'm going to go down personally and make sure they give Jeff Griffiths an assist on that, because that was a gorgeous goal.
There's
and
a
now we have
slashing
penalty
call coming. Looks like it's to Durham. No one wants this face-off, though, as Gillen's filled in. And now Brent McCauley's got someone to match. Connor Latimer's going to go off for a slash, and Josh Wasson taking a slash as well, and it'll be Barrie ball. Kim Squire needs to play for this team, because I've seen him before. If a guy doesn't get credit for the assist when it's announced, run off the bench to the timer's box and say, no, it was this guy that passed it to me.
And that coming from a guy who barely speaks.
So we'll go 4-on-4 again. And again, this has seemed to benefit the Turf Dogs today, but without the speed in those tired legs, maybe it won't. But as I say that, Brown intercepts and gives up for Hogarth. Hogarth across for Bergen, who shoots it just wide. Here's Guerin up top, change-up shot with 2 on the clock. Bypasses everything, and Maudsley about to head down the floor. Shot clock expires.
We're reaching about the point where Durham will start to pull Kevin Croswell from the net to get that extra attacker. They've worked so hard, but Barrie doing a nice job to hang on to their lead. Peter spins away from Brown. He's looking for somebody cutting. The cutter was covered, so he tries to get it across. Does get it to Maudsley.
What a defensive play by Guerin there. Maudsley wound up to take the shot, and then just a little flip of the stick on the head. And now Croswell does head to the bench.
5-on-4 with the penalties. Still 26 seconds to go.
Guerin with the ball. Still a 1-goal game. 2 minutes remain. Guerin behind his back for Goddard. Down low McNulty. Goddard, Guerin. Shot. Dinley the save. Looking for it there was Josh Gilray. He had the stick slapped out of his hands, and Croswell can't get back as Guerin chases down the ball. He's in there with Tompkinson, and a nice job by Guerin just to tie it up as Croswell comes in. Penalties expire. We'll go 6-on-5 now as Croswell returns to the bench.
And Jesse Guerin definitely finding his legs in the Canadian Lacrosse League. He's played very well. Great late fourth quarter here.
You can see him breathing heavy from here, though, as he's going to remain out on offense. And Guerin bypasses everybody, and 2-on-1 with an empty net looming. It's up over into the stick of Robertson, and he puts it in the top corner. And 1 minute to go. 2-goal lead by no means ices anything, but that makes it a lot more difficult for a team that's getting more tired by the second.
You got 10 and 18, okay, and then we have an illegal substitution, green, but it was canceled by the goal.
So you heard Brent McCauley calling. The Turf Dogs jumped out to try and stop that. Might as well, because they're going to score anyway on the empty net, so why not send somebody right away and try to stop the goal. But it's going to be awfully tough now for Durham to get back into this one.
So this is going to make, if it holds up, a huge log jam at 1-1. Barrie 1-1, Durham 1-1, of course Niagara 0-1. Oswego Demons will travel to Niagara tomorrow, as will we. Steven Stamp, myself, will call the game here on the JVI Sports Network. Diving through! Exclamation point!
Michael Gillen, what a play to finish off.
27.
A big game for him, unassisted, as a couple, Aaron Brown and another Turf Dog, were all over him. He manages to squeak through the two of them and drive to the net. A big game for Mike Gillen.
So that makes it 14-10 now, and 30 seconds to go, maybe a little too much. So head on the swivel if you're an official, is turning around. Josh Wasson gets into Ross Smith, again wearing the 28, and a couple players exchange. Joe coming in to help his brother as Bergen up for Josh. For Jeff McNulty, he's going to drive to the net. The shot off the stick of Dinley into the glass, into the stick of Johnny Ray with 5 seconds to go. He'll just hang on, and we will see you tomorrow in Niagara.
So a 14-10 win for the Barrie Blizzard. Really turned things around from last week by jumping out to a good start that was so critical for them, and then they're able to just hang on as Durham fought really hard to try and get back into this one. And we've been giving the Turfdogs lots of credit for they're not quitting, but Barrie has to get a lot of credit for the work they did as well. And a couple of late goals, the empty netter by Robertson, and then Gillen working hard to get the last one. It's 14-10. And we said before the season we thought everyone was going to be very competitive up and down the league, and no question. Our 3 stars today, the 3rd star with a good all-around effort. Actually, at the last second, wouldn't have minded putting Mike Gillen in. I think he had a good 2-way effort.
If we were a little closer to our director, maybe we would have made the switch.
Would have been able to. We're well away from him, though. So Jason Crawford gets the nod. Good, strong 2-way game for him. Scored his first goal in the Canadian Lacrosse League, and generally was harassing Turfdogs all over the floor. The 2nd star coming from the Durham Turfdogs.
Yeah, we've been talking about him all game. Dylan Goddard, he's going to want to wear the GoPro every warm-up, I think, after his performance today. Number of points, let's pull it up here. Sorry.
2 goals and a couple of assists for him.
But we go back to that one shift. It was 2 or 3 shifts in a row that that Dylan Goddard just took over on the floor and went after loose balls hard and just played absolutely hard, and that was the turning point for me in the game. And then our 1st star, Mike Teeter, a late addition to the lineup. Well, a late addition for us anyways.
Yeah.
We didn't even know he was here.
Until we saw him in the warm-up.
Yeah, and puts him in, and I think he's here to stay. Get a nameplate for that guy.
4 goals by Teeter, 3 of them from outside shots, bouncing them through the feet of the Durham goaltenders. And I'll tell you, Mike Teeter had a terrific game in his first game back since 2013 in CLax. And like you said, put a nameplate on his shirt.
And you said it was a great team-building win for Barrie, great team-building game for Durham. I think it does go both ways because season is so short. You want to get that chemistry, and you want to get it, and you want to get it fast. So week 2, the fact that we're seeing this much building, I guess, with these 2 teams is huge.
Yeah, a lot of parity as we expected in CLax this year. Join us tomorrow. It should be a good one. It's Weekend Demons on the floor for the first time as they face the defending champion, but 0-1 Niagara Lock Monsters at the Meridian Center in St. Catharines. It's at 2 o'clock. Join us at about 1:50 to 1:55 as we'll have the pregame show and little introductions for you. And we will let you watch that game. It's going to be a good one.
A rematch from last year. They went to overtime. So if you want any more build-up than that, I don't have it. Of course, they're going to honor last year's team. Before the game, I don't know if there's a banner or a ring ceremony or anything like that, but tune in, like we said, a little bit before 2 o'clock. That's the game time. Our producer today has been Gary Morrison, our director Alex Fraza. On behalf of them and our entire crew, including my partner Stephen Stamp, I'm Matthew Carrick for the JVI Sports Network and the Canadian Lacrosse League. Folks, we'll talk to you tomorrow from Niagara.